What if you were actually set up to fail? Not once, but like the whole way through your life. That is a gnarly thought, right? Pretty crazy. The truth is, there's so many forces in this world keeping people stuck and bogged down. And I've found that throughout my life, whenever I wanted to achieve something, I had to work out what was in my way, what was blocking me from getting to my goal. Now, some of these success blockers are easy to spot. Some thoughts, though, are deeply seated beliefs that you may be conscious of, but what's worse are the ones that you are not conscious of. And a lot of these come from external environments and societal conditioning. So this video is me sharing some of the success blockers not only I've had to overcome, but the most common ones I see holding my clients back from actually achieving financial independence. So if you appreciate the struggles I've gone through to share with you how I unblock myself from financial independent success, please share the love by hitting the like button. It helps me help more people, and I truly appreciate it. Mostly all of these success blockers are mindset based, like self-belief and how to overcome a lot of these issues, which are far more prevalent than you think in society. But I also talk about how to overcome dopamine addictions and how to consciously and respectfully cull people out of certain parts of your life. This video is big, it's deep, and very impactful. I wouldn't suggest only watching it once. I'd suggest studying it because I've shared some big points that are quite condensed, but each of these deserves a lifetime of commitment to master. If you fully embody all of these principles into your life over the years and decades, they'll serve you more than any amount of money you could attain, and that is not an exaggeration. So let's dive in. Fear of failure. Yes, that's right. Most people don't even make it to the starting line. The biggest success blocker that most people suffer from is fear of failure. And the statistics based on multiple studies show that a whopping 25 to 40% of people suffer from the fear of failure. We're talking a quarter of people to 2/3 of people in the world don't even get moving. Talk about crippling. If you're scared of failing, it's likely that you're worried of people seeing you as a failure, which is such a normal human thing to experience. Ain't nobody want people to think they're a failure. But this fear of failure is a massive paradox, because if you let that fear override your decision to try something or do something, then that's more of a failing move right there, isn't it? People who don't give things a try because they're scared of what people think about them is what's going to cause people to judge you more so for not doing anything than actually giving things a go. Think about it. Who would you respect more? Someone who has wanted to achieve something for 5 years and did nothing about it, or someone who wants to achieve something over a 5-year period and has given it a red hot crack? They did everything they possibly could do within their powers and their resources to make the venture work. You'd likely respect the person who gave everything they had, wouldn't you? I know I would. This is why fear of failure is such a mind boggle. Do not let it stop you. You're better off failing than doing nothing. In fact, if you're a human and have tried anything before, you've already failed at so many things. This is how we learn. Can you honestly write in the comments section below that when you started to walk, you never fell down, not once? Or that you've ridden a push bike and you've never fallen off the push bike, not once? Let's be real. You're going to fail through life and any venture you take. And this is good because this is what helps you learn and get better. Understand, people are likely to judge you more for not trying than actually trying. Knowing all of this helps you see that in case you've actually got nothing to lose. So speaking about people judging you, the next major success blocker is the people you hang around. This includes everyone you spend time with, from work colleagues, sport teammates, your circle of friends, and unfortunately, even your family. It's a scary thought that some people really close to you can aid in blocking your success. In fact, it's even sad. When I realized a few key people close to me unconsciously didn't want me to be successful, this hurt. Think about it. How much would it hurt for someone close to you who doesn't really like their life situation see you win and become successful when they're struggling? This can cause people to judge you, and what's worse is to mention sly little comments that can slowly cut away at your own self-belief. These people may be friends, they may be family, and what's important for you to know is that they may not even realize that they're doing it. I once heard Jordan Peterson say, "Be careful who you share good news with." And I didn't really know what he meant until one day my eyes fully opened to it. What he's saying is that when you win or have some great news that you've achieved something, sharing it with the right person will see you champion, right? But sharing this with the wrong person can cause a world of hurt in someone who's struggling and possibly cause them to attack you in a non-aggressive verbal way. And it might not be exactly when you share the news with them, but it might be a completely different time as well. And like I said before, they might not even know that they're doing it. Might be completely unconscious for them. I've mentioned this example before, but when I bought my second online business, I was super excited. I went and told my workmates, and I was a plumber, right? And you know what they said? They said, "Oh man, you're crazy. You bought an online business. How do you know you didn't get scammed? This will never work for you, dude. You need to be careful." They're the things that they said. Wow. Can you imagine how I actually interpreted that at the time? What I heard them say to me was that I'm crazy, I've been scammed, I'll never make money online through the online business world or the business that I bought. What's worse is people's opinions and thoughts are incredibly infectious. Luckily for me, my self-belief was sky high from that building block, and nothing was going to stop me. That second business I bought was a huge success, and I never told them about it. I never told them how incredible of a win it was for me, but they knew 8 months later when I quit the workforce forever. But if you don't have the insane amounts of self-belief that I had built coming out of that, then your circle of influence can crush your success in just one single snide comment. So be careful. And of course, the next success blocker is not believing in yourself. You need to believe in yourself far more than anybody else does. You are the driver, nobody else. So you need to make sure your engine is clean as a whistle and that your fuel, which is belief, is absolutely abundant. So how do you do this? Firstly, start counting your wins. I once had a girlfriend who had a mentor for something she was trying to achieve, something great in her life, and she had a major lack of confidence in herself in this area. She always focused on the negative and spoke to herself very poorly around this subject. She would say things like, "I suck at this and I'll never be able to do this because I don't have the money, I don't have the time," and blah, 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 blah. So not only did she not believe in herself, she was digging a hole and starting to bury herself in it. Now, this is very, very common, more common than you may think. So her mentor said to her, "You know what? You treat yourself like a piece of garbage, just absolute trash," which firstly stunned her, which in therapy for a patient to see the truth, you typically first need to shock them out of their state and then allow them to see what they need to make the changes. So once she was shocked out of that state, he said, "All I hear you talk about is how much you suck. But just last week, you achieved this small little win. And sure, it may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of all the goals and the success you want to attain in this area. But if you don't count your little wins, then you'll never believe in yourself." So start counting your wins, and this will allow your belief in yourself to compound over time. It's not going to happen overnight. What I'm talking about is one win, as small as just spending 1 hour learning. Right now, you're watching this video. It's a small win. You're learning how to combat these success blockers. Chalk that up to a win. And the more little wins you count, the more you'll believe in yourself. When I was trying to quit my job as a plumber, I had pretty much no success in the online space. So my self-worth was pretty low and I was working on building it. So what I did is I looked back at some of the things that I had achieved. For example, I got my first job when I was 15. That's a win. I know I can get a job. So if I can get a job, why can't I run a business? If I can do that, I can make money online. I also got a promotion in that job. If I can work my up at work and get a promotion, I know that I can achieve things online. When I got my first lead online, before I even made any money, I counted that as a win. Maybe I didn't close a sale or make a whole lot of money from the lead, but I didn't dwell on that. I wasn't too harsh on myself. I focused on where I was winning to keep winning. All of these small little wins compound into one large win and the sense of winning throughout life. And the more you focus on counting your wins, the more you'll feel like a winner as you keep winning. Your self-confidence just goes up, right? And this is not to be mistaken with fake confidence, right? This strategy teaches you to use real life examples where you have actually won something and you can rest your laurels on that and showcase that you're a true winner. So count your small successes, build your self-worth and confidence, and take control of your destiny. Now, lack of support, of course. This is a big one. You need mentors and skilled guidance on any endeavor. But let's not exclude support also being your closest circle. With that said, I mentioned to you before that maybe your family and friends don't actually want you to be successful. Have you ever really thought about that? Of course, they'll tell you they want you to win. And some people's friends and family truly mean it. But when you understand how painful it can be to someone close to you, like I said before, to see you live that absolute dream when life for them day in, day out is not fun, you'll understand why unconsciously some people in your life don't want you to win. The truth is that's their issue. It's not yours. That is their pain, and their pain can hold you back. It can influence you in the most sneaky ways that you may not even be able to protect, but it's their stuff. So start testing people to see who in your life actually supports you by doing the opposite of what Jordan Peterson says, sharing some small little wins with people and taking notes of who is genuinely happy for you and who wants you to keep kicking goals. There are the people you should share wins with, and they'll encourage you to share wins with, and you should have those people and wrap yourself more around those people in your own life, right? You'll soon realize how soothing real support is with these types of people and what that actually looks like. Now, to the skilled support. If anyone has achieved any insane amounts of success in any area, I'm talking an Olympic athlete, Hollywood actor, headlining musicians, billionaires, these people have a whole team, a suite of people in their corner who have either achieved the same thing these individuals want to achieve, or at the very least have helped multiple people to achieve the same thing that they want to achieve. They have real world experience and runs on the board in that actual space. Better yet, it would be ideal to have someone who has achieved what you want and also helps others as well. For example, what I've done is replace my income and build a portfolio of online businesses and investment properties, and I help people do the same. If your goal is to become a professional surfer, for example, find a professional surfer who has also coached others to become professional surfers. With that said, I've helped thousands of people to acquire online businesses and scale them. If you want to access my due diligence framework, which takes the guesswork out of buying a business, head to buyingonlinebusinesses.com/free resources. There'll be a link in the description, or reach out and ask me some questions. info@buyingonlinebusinesses.com. I'm here for you to help you acquire and or scale your online business. The next success blocker is dopamine chasing. So many people are addicted to short-term satisfaction. A few years ago, a former VP of growth at Facebook said he felt tremendous guilt for the work he did at Facebook, mentioning that the short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops that we have created are destroying how society works. He highlighted something most of us know but few really appreciate. Smartphones and the social media platforms they are supporting, they're turning us into bona fide addicts. While it's easy to just dismiss this claim as, hyperbole, or platforms like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok leverage the same very neural circuitry used by slot machines and cocaine to keep us using their products as much as possible, right? So yes, dopamine chasing is not all your fault, but we all need to take some serious accountability, because at the end of the day, if you're a user of these platforms, it's wreaking havoc on your brain and your ability to be successful. I hear so many people say, I don't have time for X, Y, Z, yet if you look at their screen time, you'd be absolutely alarmed. The average person spends around 2.5 hours per day on their phone, according to a study in 2024, right? This is more time on social media per week doing absolutely nothing than what I spend per week working. We need to give up on just social media, right? Ideally, completely, because making people's attention spans shorter and the need for instant gratification is excessively increasing. We also need to give ourselves space and slow things down. I'm sure you've heard before that in order to speed up, we need to slow down. So why is this? It's because the more you slow down, the more present you are. And the more present you are, the better decisions you make, thus providing you better results in business and life. The most successful people in the world adopt delayed gratification, whereas always consuming content is addictive and breeds short-sightedness, instant gratification, and double, triple whammy, low self-worth, which is what we talked about before. So to be successful in any endeavor, you need to fall in love with tackling each and every battle and switch from instant gratification to delayed gratification. And this will shift you from low self-esteem to ultimate confidence, because you don't need external validation anymore. You aren't doing this for others anymore or to prove a point. You're doing it for you. The next success blocker is too many options. There are an unlimited amount of ways to make money online. So how do you know what's actually going to work for you? You don't. You need to make something work for you. But hang on, what's the easiest way to do it? Well, like I said before, stop looking for instant results. Results come from committing time, effort, and energy to something for a very long period of time. I'm talking 5 to 10 years plus. This is when you start to see real results. Too many people are wanting to make money online and replace their income in the shortest possible time frame. And can you blame them? Of course not. No, right? The truth is, whatever endeavor you take on is going to take time. As soon as you set a time expectation on yourself, you're basically giving yourself a quit and give up date. With the unlimited options on how you can make money online now, it's going to take time. So pick one and stick with it until it works. If it really takes you 5 years to replace your income and quit work, is that really so bad compared to starting and stopping multiple times over 5 years and getting nowhere because you wanted to try multiple options because there's so many and you didn't know which one was going to work, and then decision fatigue kicked in and that just kills progress? You're often better at taking action on anything. Even if it's going to be the wrong path, it's still pushing you forward because you've learned it's not the right path, and you can learn from that experience in many ways that will also help you with the next path you do choose. And it may not seem like progress, but it's far better than standing there and doing nothing. I've found every time I've done something that wasn't the most ideal path for me and I've taken crazy action towards it, what I learned from what I was doing, even if it was the wrong path, somehow linked up and gave me the skills and the resources for the next path that I took, making the next path easier each time. So don't get stuck deciding. The longer you wait, the harder it is to pull the trigger on something. Another success blocker is governments. Firstly, I'm not a tinfoil hat wearer and I'm not into crazy conspiracy theories. What I will mention here, I know to be true as I've had my own personal struggles with it. Think about this. Governments are businesses. Their goal is to make money. So how do governments make the most amount of money? Tax. And who pays the most amount of tax? Employees do. So if they make the most amount of money on tax from employees, their goal is to keep everybody as an employee. How do they do this? Schooling, of course. Government schools set you up to become an employee. They condition you to become an employee and then to go to college and universities. And this system alone conditions us to pay the most amount of tax. They don't teach us anything about finances at school, do they? They don't teach us how to invest and make money, so we don't have to be employees. They want us uneducated, so we don't know how to make a bunch of money, so we don't understand how finance works, and so we can make the government the most amount of money. Some would say they want us poor. Uneducated and unhealthy humans make the governments the most amount of money. All you need to do is follow the money to see the reality of it. I found that to achieve financial independence myself, personally, in most cases, I've needed to do the complete opposite of what most society does. Where people are zigging, I'm zagging. I didn't go to university and I didn't get a fancy job. I didn't buy a home to live in. Instead, I rented. I didn't buy a cool fancy car. I learned to quit saving and started investing instead of buying materialistic things to make my life look like a success. I didn't stay comfortable and I took risks. I'm grateful today that all of this has paid off, and here I am now sharing all of this with you. The next success blocker is poor time management. I could go into a full lesson on how to save time with all the principles I've learned, like ITF, which is what I teach in my courses, and how to be productive. But really, time management comes down to one big philosophy. I'll start off by saying what I've mentioned a few times already, that so many people in this world complain they don't have time. What they're actually saying is, and this may hurt you to hear, this thing they didn't have time for is not important enough for them. Think about it. People do what they really want. is somebody wants something bad enough, they will get it. You've probably seen somewhere in a movie or somewhere before or heard a story that a mentor takes a very young, hungry kid out to the lake, and this young, hungry kid wants to be successful. He takes this kid out to the lake or the beach and dunks them under the water and holds them there and doesn't let them up for air, right? The young kid needs to kick and scratch and fight for air until the kid finally overpowers the mentor. There are so many lessons just in this story, but the main one is that if there's something you want bad enough, you need to fight for it. If you're making excuses for not doing the work, not fighting, then you just don't want it bad enough. If you want it bad enough, you'll make the time for it. You'll block out your calendar to do the things you need to do, and this is what good time management is at the end of the day. Working out the absolute most important things for you in your life and blocking them out, putting them in your calendar and sticking to those and committing to them. When you do this, social media, TV, mind-numbing entertainment, they all just get left behind. Make success a priority for you. If you don't, well, then you just don't want to achieve that thing that you say you do bad enough. And if you do want it bad enough, fight like crazy for it. Hey YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Jared Krause. If you've watched this video up until now, I'm sure you liked it. So please smash the like button for me. And I'm glad you liked the video. Also, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing super good. I also want to ask you, please consider subscribing because my exploration on YouTube is about to explode. I'm pouring more of my heart and my soul into these videos to bring you awesome education and help you guys replace your income and build awesome online business portfolios. So please consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one.